We have 10 songs on the album.
Okay.
And just walk through every song, and then just pick what comes into your mind first for the song. Maybe some funny stuff, maybe a serious line, maybe
okay, yeah.
your own motivation.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll start. I wrote them down. Soldier Side.
Okay, this is, first of all, I'm John. I play in System of a Down, which is what you're listening to, hopefully, right now. And I'm going to take you through the album a little bit. It opens up with the intro for Soldier Side, which is actually going to be on the second album, Hypnotize, which comes out in like 6 months, depending on when you're listening to this. May already be out, who knows. But, yeah, this is the intro to it. You'll hear the full song when Hypnotize comes out. So here it is.
And the thing is, no, I'm sorry, this is going to be a whole interview, so it's not for every song.
Oh, you want me to just talk about every song?
So
one by one?
Yeah. So we're just going to talk. Why is this the intro to a song which is on the next album?
Well, we feel the reason that this is the intro to the first album is because we feel both albums are connected and they're really one album. So actually, when you get both albums, they will fit together like a puzzle.
Okay.
You know, and then you'll have one double CD. And the reason we basically did this is because we really wanted people to take their time with each song. And when you have 25 songs to listen to, you have less time for each song, you know. So we released one and then the other, that way you can really concentrate on each one.
And is this intro, Soldier Side, is it similar to the song, similar feel? Or
It's the intro to Soldier Side that you're going to find on this album, for Mezmerize, is the same that you're going to find in Hypnotize. It's actually just the beginning of the song.
Okay.
So before the rest of the band comes in, it goes into B.Y.O.B.
Okay.
You know, B.Y.O.B, which is our first, so to speak, single, you know, for this album. And, you know, the first video that we just finished doing will be released probably in Europe very soon, you know, a couple of weeks at most.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's one of our longest songs that we've ever done. It's over 4 minutes long. And it just goes into a lot of different areas, you know, politically, socially. There's a lot of metaphors in it.
Yeah, because the song is called BYOB, but it
stands for Bring Your Own Bombs.
Yes.
It's also an acronym for Bring Your Own Beer, which is a term in America. You have a party, you know, it says Bring Your Own Beer. You have to bring your own beer.
Okay.
Or it could be Bring Your Own Bitches, whatever you want it to be. You know.
Okay. Because there's a line in the song which says, "Dancing in the desert, blowing up the sunshine."
Mm-hmm.
So that's the party in Iraq then.
Could be.
Could be.
We really don't like to tell people exactly what things are about because every person is going to have a different opinion, you know. And we support and acknowledge that. We want everybody to have a different opinion and maybe introduce different things to each other about, you know, our music and life in general.
Do you talk about the lyrics with each other?
Not really. No, we don't really get into talking about the lyrics together. Most of the time, it's after the album's done that I read the lyrics because I'm so busy concentrating on playing the right parts and creating drums that are interesting for the music. And, you know, I know that the lyrics are going to have a wonderful content. I have the faith in Serge and Darren that they're going to write interesting lyrics. But while we're making the album, I'm much more concentrated on just getting the album done, you know, and then afterwards I'll listen to the lyrics and just be like, wow, you know, I'll reflect on it myself.
And the songs, do you talk about the songs when they're written? I mean, not so lyric-wise, but music-wise. You say, well, this feeling is in this song. Maybe you can do this on the guitar. Maybe you can.
Oh, definitely. Okay. System of a Down is very open to opinion. Just because I play drums doesn't mean I won't listen to someone else when they say, hey, try this beat. And it's vice versa. You know, we all make suggestions to each other as far as what we're recording. And I think that's why we have the ability to create stuff that's so diverse, is because we have different opinions coming in. You know, Darren does most of the songwriting, a majority of it. But he's still open to us, you know, adding a part or changing a part. You know, he's just not closed-minded about it. You want to get that before it keeps ringing? There you go.
So a nice break.
Yeah, little timeout.
Little timeout. Okay. Next one is let me see what's the song.
Revenga.
Oh,
Revenga.
Revenga.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's from Scarface. You know when he goes
Oh, yeah.
Revenga. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. And what is for
It
you?
has nothing to do with the movie, but you know.
And what is the first thing that pops into your mind when you think about a song?
Well, there's actually kind of a funny story to that song. When Darren originally brought that song in, I came up with that Latin beat, you know, on the ride.
Yeah.
It's got like a disco beat happening with the left, and then there's like a din 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 happening on the ride, and nobody liked it but me. You know, I came up with it, of course. So I was like, man, you guys really don't like it, you know? And they said, no, man, think of something else. You know, the first day. So, but I really liked it, so I was like, okay, you know, I'll do it to make you guys happy. And then so like for 2 weeks I played something else.
And
You know?
what did you play there?
I just played a different beat,
Okay.
you know, something a little different. And then I just brought it back, you know, and they forgot.
Okay.
They forgot they didn't like it, yeah.
So what did they at first didn't like about it? Did
They just
say
didn't
it?
like the
Oh,
Latin feel of it. They thought it was too much, too over the top, you know.
Okay.
But for me, I thought it was tasteful, and I thought it fit the part really well, and I was really into it, you know. It's actually my favorite part of the song is that one beat that I did. So basically, I just waited until they forgot that they didn't like it, and then when I brought it back, they had all forgotten that they didn't like it, you know.
And what did they say about it then?
They didn't say anything.
Okay.
And then Rick Rubin came and heard it, and he loved it.
Okay.
And then now everybody loves it. You know?
Okay.
So it was kind of like I had to play a little trick on my band on that one, you know.
Do they know it now?
Yeah, I told them. I go, you guys hated it the first time. They go, no, we didn't. they forgot, you know.
Okay.
So that was kind of a cool thing, you know, like a little story.
And the okay, next one.
Excuse me, I have to sneeze.
Okay.
That's it.
Zigaro.
Zigaro.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about it?
Well, what is the first thing that pops into your head?
Well, the first thing that pops into my head is that's a hard song to play.
Okay.
You know, it in this album we've done heavier stuff than we've ever done before, and we've also done more melodic stuff than we've ever done before. So there's a kind of craziness that takes place when you do that. You know, this song from beginning to end is just going, you know, full tilt, never stops.
Yeah, because there's also some kind of funny, weird lyrics about it. The first line is, "My cock is much bigger than yours," and maybe you can. I think it's more about some kind of. Well, I think the best lines for me are, "We're the propagators of all genocide, burning through the world's resources. Then we turn and hide." It's about big corporations, maybe, or
could be about many things.
Okay.
You know, it is very open to interpretation. Some people literally think, you know, one person's cock is bigger than others. Some people think it's a person putting out attitude of "I'm better than you." Some people think it's because countries go to war and one country is much stronger than the other one. Some people think it represents corporations. You know, there's a lot of different ways to interpret it. And to be honest with you, there isn't really one right way of interpreting it. You know, it's totally open to, you know, whatever you want it to be.
And like I said, the first question was, do you talk about it? Do you talk about the lyrics afterwards? Or maybe, let's say, after a few years, you talk about an old song, about the lyrics, or does that happen?
We talk about different things, but you know, even within the band, we have different opinions on what the lyrics mean, no matter who wrote them, you know, and that's the way it should be. You know, everybody has a different perspective. And sometimes when you're writing something, you're thinking one thing, somebody else tells you something else, and you're like, wow, that's kind of cool, you know, like, that's amazing that you have that opinion of it. And it expands your horizon on it, even though you wrote it, you know.
Okay, true. The next one, radio/video. Hey man, look at me rocking out, I'm on the radio. Hey man, look at me rocking out, I'm on the video. What was the first time for you when you heard a song on the radio? What kind of feeling did you have? I mean,
one of our songs?
Yes.
Well, I remember exactly where I was. I was driving on Laurel Canyon in North Hollywood, and I was driving to a meeting with the band. We were having a lunch meeting, and I was just, you know, listening to the radio, and then all of a sudden, Sugar came on the radio, and I was like, hold on. I checked to see if the CD was in there. It wasn't in there. You know, I pulled the car over. I sat there. I listened to the whole song. And after the song was over, I was just like, I can't believe they played us on the radio. Because we never expected to be as big a band as we are. You know, we didn't think our music would be that accepted by the world. So it's been a big shock to us, you know, and a pleasant surprise, but still a surprise. We never thought we'd be as commercially successful as we are.
And how is it feeling now for you? Do you get used to it?
You get used to it, but it's like someone calling your name in a crowded place from far away. You know your name. You've heard it many times, but it's still like a little bit of a shock every time you hear it, you know? You're like, what? It's a little bit of a surprise. I mean, I could be, you know, walking down the street and somebody will drive by and the song will be playing. I don't expect that to happen. It's me. They're listening to me. They don't know I'm here, you know? But it is a shock.
But can you listen to your songs without knowing that it's you playing?
No.
Sometimes? No?
That's impossible. If I hear one beat, I know it's me.
Okay.
You know? If I hear one guitar lick, I know it's our song.
And, the video, the first time you saw a video of System of a Down on the TV?
That wasn't really that big of a deal to me.
Okay.
I've never been a big fan of videos or making them. You know, I think in a lot of ways it takes away from music to make videos. Because there is a mystery. You know, and that mystery is gone when you see the band. When you know what they look like, when you see a video. A lot of times videos will characterize a song and they'll put it into one mold, and then it's not as easy to have differences of opinion on it, you know.
And how do you deal with it with making the videos for System of a Down?
We are very hands-on. We have a lot of say in what happens, and a lot of the times we'll determine exactly what a video is. You know.
No, but I mean with the interpretation, do you talk about it and say, well, we have to stay away from too much of an interpretation, or do you?
Well, we try to make it as vague as possible, without making it too vague. You know, to where there's no continuity between the song and the video. But there's always going to be some kind of something that doesn't make sense in the videos. You know, where you're like, man, that doesn't really work with what they're singing or what they're playing. But that's what we like to do. We like to take things that don't really make sense in System of a Down, and we like to put them together and make them make sense. Okay. You know, if you listen to our songs, there's a B.Y.O.B, for example. There's blast beats. Yeah. There's a dance part. There's double bass. There's rock, and there's disco. And you put them all together, and you have B.Y.O.B. You know, like that doesn't. If you tell someone to write a song like that, they'll be like, you know, how?
But how does it happen then?
Well, it's a natural thing for us. Darren, that's the way he writes. You know, that's what comes into his head. He likes to say that he doesn't write the songs.
I know, he's medium or something.
He's a medium for energy.
Yeah. And
it comes into him. And he focuses it, and then it comes out. And I think that's cool. That's a cool thing for him to say, and I respect that. But it is coming from him, one way or another. It doesn't come through me. So that energy isn't coming over here, it's coming to him. It's attracted to him.
Okay, now, and for you, your drum parts, is it also from
My drum parts, it's natural for me. It comes from whatever energy comes into me. It's inspired by whatever song is brought in, you know, but I do write for the song and I cater towards the song that's brought in. But it's not something I think about. It just happens naturally.
And for you also, do you always, let's say, react to the song?
Exactly.
Okay.
Always.
Next one. I have to keep in time. This cocaine makes me feel like I'm on this song.
I love that title. It's just a funny title, you know? Once again, it doesn't really make sense. This cocaine feels like I'm on this song. What does that mean, you know? I don't even know. So
and the song is just basically a really little story.
Every song's a little story. Or
no,
a collection.
this one I think is also, let's say, within the lines. It's only one or two verses, and that's it.
Yeah. It's quick and to the point.
Yeah.
But it's also a very rock-oriented song. You know, it's a more straightforward song. If you want to compare it to some of our other stuff, it's a little more direct. You know, probably easier to understand.
And the long song title, was it done on purpose or?
I think it was originally just called Cocaine, but then, you know, Eric Clapton has a song called Cocaine.
Yeah.
And then it had a couple of different titles. You know, all these songs, all the titles were changed a couple of times. Very few of them, you know, like, it started song number 1, song number 2, song number 3, you know, when we were first writing them in the studio. And eventually we had to give it names. But there's a song called Question, because we didn't know what the hell to call it, so we said Question. You know? Like, there was a song called... shit, I can't remember. It's on the second album. We'll get to that when we get there.
Mm-hmm. And the how important are song titles then? Are they important, or is it just a label to stick on a song?
A rose by any other name would smell just as sweet, right? That's a saying, you know?
Sorry, this?
A rose by any other name would still smell just as sweet. These songs with another name would still be these songs.
Okay. Violent pornography. Yes. I had one question.
There was some of that on the TV this morning I was watching.
Yeah?
Pay-per-view. Okay. Violent pornography.
Okay.
Very violent.
Oh, that's you mean real violence.
Literally.
Yeah. I have one question. What is Nabisco?
Nabisco is a company.
Company.
They make like crackers, chips, that kind of stuff. Never heard of Nabisco? You don't have it out here?
No.
Really? You have. Okay.
Yeah, you have? Oh, sorry.
He's a better consumer than you are.
I don't need it. Yeah, I was thinking, for me it's about the wrong sexual moral and the role of the V in it.
See, it could be.
Could be. And for you?
For me, it's many things.
Many things.
None of which I'll tell you.
Okay.
You guys are always trying to get us to admit something, you know, like...
No, I don't know. I was just wondering, okay, what is that for you? Name one thing for this song that pops into your mind. Something happening in the studio or...
For violent pornography?
Yeah? Or maybe something...
I remember we were doing one take, it was really good, and then my snare fucked up and it hit the mic and it just ruined the whole thing. And I was like, shit, you know, are we going to get another one as good as that one? While we were recording the first album with War, we were having a tough time with it, man. The feeling wasn't right, or it was too fast, or this, that. And we had like one perfect take that was happening, you know? And I was like, everybody was into it, and then Darren's guitar string broke. And I was like, porco dio, now we gotta start over, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, stuff like that happens. Of course you get it again anyway, but...
And how many takes normally do you record a song?
Depends on the song. Song like Trust in Hollywood, it was a second take. Toxicity was second take. Sugar was the first take. Let's see. B.Y.O.B, maybe 13th take, something like that.
So we're not that many as, let's say, 40, 50 or something?
There's some.
Some, okay.
But, I mean, at that point you're really killing it. If you don't have it by then, you know. The Toxicity album, I did 33 songs in 6 days. This one took me a month and a half.
Okay.
But we were also doing 2 albums, you know.
Yeah.
And we also did a lot of pre-production while we were recording, which in Toxicity we'd already done pre-production. We just went in and recorded. So it was a little bit different. You know, this album we approached it differently.
And why?
Because this album needed to be approached differently. And because we ran out of time. You know, we really felt like it was time to get in the studio because we kept writing. We could still be writing. We could have 100 songs by now, you know? Eventually you have to say, okay, time to go record.
Yeah, because I heard you already have some like 30-some new songs even after.
Well, Darren says he wrote already like 30 songs, which is very possible because he's always writing, you know? He's probably writing right now. But we really got to concentrate on touring for the next 2 years.
Okay, and the question, what do you think of all the questions in interviews?
They're fine. You know, people are interested, and it's our responsibility to meet that demand, you know.
And why is there sorry, how do you call it? The question is with the dot.
It's just a way of saying it.
Now, normally it's question, it says question
mark.
But now it's with a dot. It says...
Well, it depends on how you say it, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
You can say question or question.
Question, yes. I think this is the ghost of the grand. Okay, we still have to do 3 more songs. Sad Statue.
Sad Statue was one of the more difficult songs for me because I hadn't played that much double bass previously, and I had to do a lot more of it for this album. So it's probably one of the most difficult songs to play.
For you. And do you?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Okay. Then we have the last two songs. They're all about Hollywood. How come?
Darren went to a baseball game.
Yeah.
And he was playing in the game. You know, it was like a celebrity thing.
With Tony Danza.
With Tony Danza and other people. And it was just his experience there, you know. That's one of the only songs that I could say it really represents one personal experience.
And because there is a vocoder used on it to alter the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Was it weird to do it for you? Or weird or something new?
No, it was cool.
And because it has a...
We used a lot of things on this album that we haven't really necessarily done before. But it's all because it enhances this album and it was necessary. You know, we haven't done it in the past because it wasn't necessary. You didn't need a vocoder in Toxicity in the way that you do now, you know. But it all has, in my opinion, enhanced the music.
Okay, and then the last one...
Now, as far as Trust in Hollywood, to me, it's a simple story, you know. A lot of people go there to become famous, and they might have a path in their mind, and, you know, it could eat you up. You go this way and that way instead of going straight. Before you know it, you're part of the fodder.
But it's also, let's say, a real ballad song.
We've always had ballads, Spiders.
Yeah, I know, but
Aerials.
is it for you is it just a question about the ballads? Is it how strange is it to do it?
It's not strange at all. It's just a part of playing. You know, I can play a ballad. It's like making love. Sometimes you feel like doing it slow, and sometimes you feel like fucking really hard. You know, same thing in music.
Okay, it's a nice ending.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.